Sports is brought to you by All Out Auto Repair, home of the $46 Saskatchewan and $66 Alberta Safety Inspection. Your complete automotive repair.
Moses, we have now somewhat of a final goodbye from former Bobcats head coach Brian Curran.
Just prior to his leaving, we actually got a chance to talk to him just about his decision and what kind of led up to it. It was an interesting type of chat. He didn't say much in his press conference last week, but Brian Curran has finally unveiled his next destination.
I'll be heading off to Drumheller. It happened, just happened recently, to be honest with you. I had spoken with the organization several weeks back. You know, if it was all right for me to talk to other teams and just see what was out there. I had several different teams call and talk to them verbally, and we really didn't go too far. There was some things thrown out, but we decided to just wait until the playoffs were over, and unfortunately for us, the playoffs were over quick. Hence, it happened probably several days, like very quickly.
Going to Drumheller, you're the coach and the GM. Both are very similar to what you had here. But is there going to be any adjustment period? Because I understand it's a 5-year deal. Is that what you have out there?
Yeah, it's 5 years, and there's, you know, it's a very strong contract. I don't think there's very many teams in the league that would put together a contract that's like mine. It's guaranteed for a lot of years. And at the end of the day, I told our owners there, you know, we always throw in, well, what happens if you don't have a good start and you lose 30 in a row? And I said, well, if I lose 30 in a row, you'll pay me out 1 year and I'm getting out, because that's not who I am. This is potentially maybe my last stop as a coach, a head coach.
And that's what I wanted to touch on as well. You talk about after the game. Will this potentially be your final contract? And will you start moving in from, say, the hockey operations side of it? Maybe become an owner eventually down the road?
Oh, there's no question. That's what I would like to do. I would like to make this one, as I feel about every place I've ever been to, is make this is my final stay. Unfortunately, it's not. As it's been alluded to a few times, someone was broke up. This is 9 teams in 12 years. Someone said to me the other day, and I said, yeah, well, 4 of them went bankrupt, and one of them went to the American Hockey League. There's not a lot I can do with that kind of stuff.
What do you take from the 2.5 years you spent here in Lloydminster?
I was laughing about it the other day. Where we were 2.5 years ago. And what I always promised every community I went to is I don't guarantee you wins, I don't guarantee you a championship. I guarantee you or make a promise that your team will work hard. They'll be in good shape or they won't be here.
Any regrets on leaving Lloydminster?
Oh, you know what? There's always regrets, I guess. I never, you know, was this a place that I could have lived? Yeah. Do I wish the bank, every bank on every team I would play or coached would open up everything? Yeah, absolutely. But this will always be my second home. Well, as of now, of all the places I've ever traveled, and I've lived in some pretty good places, but never have I had so many friends, acquaintances, people that put up with my BS and just took it for the grain of salt.
Now, the first time in 7 years, the border city is hosting a provincial tournament, and as Emmett Murphy reports, organizers are hopeful and successful, or that a successful weekend will mean more events in the coming years.
The best preteens in Alberta are coming to Lloydminster for the Investors Group Pee Wee A Provincials. Since this is the first time in years the city has hosted provincials, the association wants to make a lasting impression. The tournament will kick off in a big way with a killer laser light show Friday morning.
It's going to be rocking. This building, the Service Sports Center, is just going to be crazy. We're bringing in over 600 people to this building this weekend. With all the other stuff going on, I think it's going to be really exciting down here.
Wagner says they hope to use this tournament as a foundation for a long-term commitment to provincials.
We're going to go after one every year. We're going to move it around to different teams. So every team in our association will get an opportunity to participate in this tournament.
The Lloydminster Pee-wees qualified for the tournament as the host, but also come in as the zone champions. Their first game is tomorrow at 12:30 against Okotoks. The championship final is Sunday at 4 at Rusway Arena. Emmett Murphy, Newcap Sports.
Some athletes are able to pick up their sport pretty quickly. In this week's edition of Superstar Next Door, Matt Schumott shows us a softball player who's accomplished so much in her young career.
Growing up in a family full of baseball players, it was an easy choice what sport Kai Desaulaiers wanted to play, and now she has become one of the best first basemen in the border city.
I just like getting the ball, I guess, and stretching for it, and got a good glove, I guess.
Never satisfied, Kai is constantly trying to improve her game, whether it's working on her swing or taking ground balls. Head coach Tracy Blanchard says this is a big reason why she is so effective on the diamond.
She works really hard, fine-tuning the basics. She's a great hitter. She works hard at that. We have a cage that she goes to, and she's always fine-tuning, learning the new and improved techniques.
This past season, Kai was picked up by the under-16 team to play in nationals. Playing with girls older than her, Kai was able to walk out of the tournament with more than just experience.
Has been very inspirational to a lot of girls. She excelled big time at nationals. She won the first baseman. She was an all-star there for nationals, which was an underage achievement for her because she was a peewee playing in a Bantam Nationals. So,
accomplishing so much already, Kai has set herself a big goal, hoping that one day she can represent her country.
That'd be like a dream come true for me. Something really I'd like to do, yeah.
when you are that close to being, on a national team and you win an all-star status, that's definitely something that you want to think about.
Matt Schumont, Newcap Sports.
Superstar Next Door is brought to you by your local BRP dealers. Power Merchants of St. Paul, North Sask of North Battleford, and RecTech Power Products of Lloydminster.
It's March Madness Alberta edition. The basketball provincial finals are upon us, and we'll start with the 2A boys basketball provincials in Cold Lake. The Assumption Crusaders took on the Emmanuel Christian Eagles from Lethbridge. Ben Wade with a solid 26 points for the crew in a 73-60 victory. Their next game is tomorrow at 12:30 against Drumheller Valley. On to other 2A basketball action. It saw the Prairie Christian Sabres of Three Hills took on the J.R. Robson Marauders of Vermilion. And just by looking at that score, you know what happened. They started on a 15-0 run, the Sabres did, and never looked back. Again, 84-26 was the final. Now moving on to the 4A provincials in Cardston and Raymond. On the boys' side, the Lloyd Comp Barons fall to the number 1 seed from Edmonton, Harry Ainley Titans, 83-51 this afternoon. And later tonight, the 14th ranked Lady Barons face off against the number 3 Centennial Coyotes from Calgary. Tip-off for that one is 9 o'clock.